So let's get to our floor show traders, Sam Huszczo and Larry Shover. Guys, the suit was brought by Fortnite creator Epic Games, who was kicked off Apple's App Store after it started its own in-payment app system. Fortnite says Apple's 30% App Store fees are absolutely outrageous and anti-competitive. But I would say Apple's not the only big name in tech that has regulatory sharks swirling around it. Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook. Sam, are these names too risky right now?
We would say not so much. I think being a historian really helps in these type of moments, and looking back at how Microsoft handled their antitrust suit. And, go back even further when you talk about Rockefeller. The Supreme Court justice from Rockefeller called antitrust suits a fool's errand. So, it's something very, very difficult to prosecute. Do not take what's happened in Europe, their judgment on Apple to be how to predict what's going to happen in the United States, because, the consumer welfare standard is very, very difficult to prosecute here in the United States. So, we do see maybe some slowdown. Where it could generally affect things is mergers and acquisitions. So Google, they've acquired about 260 companies in the last 20 years. So, that's been a big part of their business model. And being under investigation makes it difficult to continue on that type of pace with mergers and acquisitions. But in the end, Microsoft had some of their best returning stock years while they were under investigation. So we don't see it as necessarily a reason to not invest. And I think the thing that gets lost when we focus on these judgments is, the speed up of tech adoption due to coronavirus. In terms of wanting our videos online and fluidly doing video conference, online grocery, it's all these tech companies that will benefit from that over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, tech is going to fight through all of this, Larry Shover, but is there one name in particular over others that might be perhaps more inured to attacks by the regulatory bodies, whether they be here or elsewhere in other countries?
Yeah, I think out of all of them, Facebook is the most vulnerable. And it wasn't too long ago when people were wondering if Mark Zuckerberg was going to be running for president, et cetera, but I think a lot has changed, and tech has disarticulated itself, separated, just like become its own thing. And one thing we have to keep in mind with Facebook is that 95% of the revenue is advertising, and who knows if that's really going to bounce back. I mean, I know the stock's done really well this year, but will it bounce back post-COVID as we get through the pandemic? It'll be interesting to see. But I think the combination of that, the combination of the reputation that Facebook has right now, which has turned over the last year or so, I think it's going to be struggling compared to the rest of the tech companies.
Yeah, well, Facebook's down about 0.5% right now. We're watching Apple. And by the way, as the headlines come through on the Apple lawsuit, and we'll see exactly what happens, but Epic Games basically saying, you know what, Apple's still making margins of 77%, so they could ease up a bit on those 30% fees that they charge. Certainly, that's what they take. We'll be watching it all. Sam, Larry, great to see you. Thank you so much.